So, another episode of The Flash. This one called Failure is an Orphan. Yeah, that's right. It's from the old saying, victory has 1,000 fathers, but failure is an orphan. Yes. True, isn't it? Well, anyway, this was an okay episode, but it still is taken down by this ethic. And so basically, they're still pursuing this idea of offering the meta-human cure to Cicada. And so the Flash confronts him and says, hey, we got a cure, we can fix it. And because, hey, you don't want your legacy to be nothing more than a killer. Well, problem number one right there, it's too late. He is a killer. He's murdered several people. And so it's too late to save his reputation, if you will. Of course, Cicada immediately rejects this and knocks the Flash on his butt and leaves. Why didn't he kill the Flash? Well, I guess because he doesn't see the Flash as bad as some of the others, but still, he probably would have killed him. So they go back to try to figure out what's going on. Meanwhile, we got more of of Nora visiting with Eobard Thawne in the future, and he's telling her that there's a new timeline coming, and things are changing, and we can't be certain where it's going and whatnot, and that something worse may be coming. Now, at first, I thought, oh, are they already setting the groundwork for the Crisis on Infinite Earths type deal, and then the Flash season will end on kind of a cliffhanger at some point, and that's what would set up the next crossover. Now, they already reveal what's coming, I guess, in the form of another Cicada. What? Yeah, well, this time, the Flash heads over to confront Cicada again, but as a father, yes. And also, Joe and his wife figure out that the doctor, what's her name, Ambrose, is helping Cicada, and so they question him, and she reveals the fact that Cicada's niece, who's the cause of all this, is also a meta-human. So the Flash confronts Cicada with this, and this ultimately convinces him to give the meta-human cure a try. I don't think that would have worked. I don't think he would have trusted them, but nevertheless, this is what they do. They give him the treatment. Dr. Ambrose is brought in to do it because he didn't trust anyone else. And it works. His powers go away. He can no longer nullify the other metahuman powers. The Flash has his power in his presence and all that. And everything seems to be going fine. And then suddenly, the power goes out. And Star Labs is getting attacked by yet another Cicada. Who could this be? Well, it's pretty obvious. It's the niece. But wait, she's rather tall. And the niece is a little girl. How could she possibly be Cicada? Well, she's from the future. So there you go. The new timeline is obviously being created by this future version of Cicada's niece, who is now Cicada and has come to what probably she believes she's rescuing her uncle from Star Lab, even though that's not what was going on. But that's the situation they have. She makes short work of everybody there and takes her uncle away, but not before murdering Dr. Ambrose. So, yeah, these are not good people. And the sort of dream sequence episode they did pretty much let the cat out of the bag that the daughter might be more in charge. And I thought maybe she was more of a puppet master over the uncle, and that she was actually getting revenge for what happened to her uncle. But maybe that's not the case. I don't know. But anyway, this is her from the future coming back. Once again, someone else from the future disrupting the timeline. You never got the real timeline of the Flash in this whole series. It's just one messed up time travel mess after another. So that's where we are with there. Now, the problem. The performances are fine. They're a good cast. Everything works out well. But the ethic that is introduced here is that the Flash had to ask Cicada permission to give him the cure. He couldn't force it on him. This is that would be the greater crime. No, it wouldn't be. This man has murdered countless people on this show, and not taking him out as fast as you can with whatever means you have at your disposal means you're basically an accessory to the further killings that he would commit. It's just like the Dark Knight Returns, where the Batman feels a sense of guilt that he's killed so many people because he's allowed the Joker to live. And here's the same situation. But they got this ethic to where it's more morally superior not to force the cure on him. When he's kind of forfeited his right here. I mean, he's using his powers to murder. And this is the only thing that could stop him, since your own powers get shut off in his presence and everything. And so that's a big problem. And that's why I can't give this one that good of a rating. I think I'll give it 3 stars because I like the show. I like the performances. They're strong and everything. They're not responsible for how this show is written, but this is a bad idea. It's not a good ethic. I've seen this ethic before in other shows, Doctor Who and whatnot, and I just don't for the life of me understand why they go there. But it's born out of something, but it obviously doesn't apply to real life because this scenario doesn't really come up in the sense people don't have superpowers and all that. But still, it's just a strange conclusion to come to where they're forcing their hero to not be so heroic here. I mean, lives are at stake, and they've given the guy every possible chance to surrender and all that. He won't take it. So you're forced into these positions. This is like I suppose the analogy would be a police officer having to use deadly force. They don't initially do it, but if they have to, they have to, and you don't condemn them for it. So it's a bad ethic. Other plot holes come in to where Cisco's portal devices that kind of do the same thing that he can do with his powers. They could have used that several times to mess with Cicada and capture him and drop him in one of their prisons to where he can't get out. And Killer Frost could have finished this guy off from the beginning. Her powers are not affected by his. So these are some pretty ginormous plot holes in this story, and I don't know, he just didn't catch it, and it's too late now, but that's problematic. So I'm giving the show 3 stars, but it could have been more. But it's silly and stupid things like this that are just sort of unforced errors. You should have been able to figure this out, but well, there it is. So there you go. The Flash failure is an orphan. So no one's going to fess up for the failure of this episode. So there you go. All right. Thank you for watching and listening. Please like and subscribe, and thank you to those who did subscribe, and share with your friends, and check out that link description below. It'll take you to my many stores that have plenty of goodies for you.